Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. This one is going to be done upon request. I have had someone request that I talk about what lenses you should start out with for your stock video. This could also be true of stock photography, but today I'm going to focus on the stock video aspect. Now, I do have an opinion on this because having shot with a lot of different format cameras, micro four thirds, APS-C to full frame that I'm shooting on right now, and looking at the clips that I've sold and looking at the all-around best way to start, I think that a lot of people get online and they give you the most expensive option, and especially for video, I'm not real sure why that would be the case. It's good for a lens to have a little bit of character. In other words, we don't need clinically sharp lenses for video. It doesn't always look the best. You know, one thing that people love about Canon is their colors, but also their skin gradients, and that their picture is not always the sharpest. In fact, I would dare say it's one of the softer pictures out there. But when you're shooting people, which is a large part of stock if you want to be successful, then you really want to soften the skin just a little bit. And it's better to do that with a lens than it is in post. I'm not talking about blurring your subject or out of focus. I'm talking about the texture of the picture itself. So my recommendations, you know, I put a list of Amazon affiliate links of lenses below, but I recommend for full frame or even a non-full frame to start out with a 50 millimeter 1.8 or lower aperture, depends on your taste for budget. And these lenses are not expensive, okay? Now here's the 50, it's not heavy. As you can see, it's a light lens. It's easy to carry around on your camera on a full frame. It's fantastic. It's a very versatile lens on any system. This is a 12, which would be a 24 on a micro four thirds, and this is a 1.2 lens, okay? Now, the reason why I want you to get a standard prime lens over a zoom lens is I want you to start off with a fast aperture so you have the ability to separate your subject from your background if you need to. It's very critical in stock photography to be able to do this, and one of the reasons why is because if I'm shooting in a busy environment, like I've shot in hospitals many times, and there are people in the background that I don't have model releases for, I need them completely blurred out so that you cannot tell who they are. And if I don't have that, then I'm not going to be able to use the clip in like busier settings. Like I've done a hallway shot where a doctor's looking at a smartphone and behind him is a front desk and people moving around. That has to be blurred out completely. So you need a fast aperture lens for that. Now 50 is the closest that I like to go. And my favorite lens is the one I'm shooting with right now, is the Canon 35 millimeter for full frame at 1.4 aperture, and I love that lens. 35, anywhere from 20 to even wider, 20 to 50 range is what I'm talking about. I feel is the best for stock video getting started. Again, go for the low apertures you can afford, get a good prime lens, learn to zoom with your feet, and learn to use that one lens really, really well. And the wider, usually the better. You don't want to get so wide that you get distortion, but a wide lens is really good to have because not only is it good in close rooms, if you're filming people like in a doctor's office or in a room, you can get close to your subject and still give a little bit of perspective of the background. Or if you're doing establishing shots for city shots, then you can get the nice wide angle. So a wide angle for stock is always a better bet than a zoom lens or a zoom up lens. So, you know, there's rooms for all kinds of lenses in your bags, but the most versatile one is I would go at 50 millimeters no matter what you're shooting at, 4/3, APS-C, full frame, I don't care. I would go 50 and below. 50 can be a little tight in a room. You can do it. but it's a little tight when you're shooting. So that's my recommendations. Again, I have links below of some lenses you can check out on each system. And you know, Olympus makes good glass. This is not Olympus, this is a Canon or one of the cheap knockoffs, but it's a great little lens for micro Four Thirds. I don't use micro Four Thirds as much anymore, hardly at all, but this is a really nice little option. So I'll link that below. And I hope this answers your questions of where to start. Again, start with a prime, start with a 50 at your longest end. Better to go a little bit wider than that. I prefer the 35 or the 20-24 range, and that really helps expand your use in stock video, because again, it's going to give you the ability to separate your subject from your background if you need to. And if you need to run up the aperture to you know, f8 and get everything in focus, you have the ability to do that as well. Hey, I hope this was helpful. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. I leave affiliate links and my stuff. Anything you do that can help the channel is muchly appreciated, and we will see you in the next video.